Hey YouTube, it's Team IDTE. Today I'm just going to show you the deck that I've been testing out lately. It's actually pretty good. It's Zombiesworn Monarchs, kind of. It's basically just a typical Lightsworn zombie kind of thing, but I'll explain some of the other stuff that's in it. To start off, we got one Dark Arm, obviously, because you have Darks, so you play it. Two Caius, because they're amazing, the best Monarch, and if you're going to do any type of Monarchs, then you're going to want to play them. Two Rises, because pretty much the theme of the deck is to spin cards constantly and make them lose on their draw phase. So you play Ryza, obviously. And last Monarch is one Firestorm, just for more hand depletion. Under the Lightsworn, we got one Lumina, obviously, typical Lightsworn. One Glurrrp. Two Lila. Really good right now. Only play one Wolf because since we're fitting in Monarchs and Zombies into this, then we have less room for Lightsworn. If there was running more Lightsworns, I'd recommend playing more, but since we have not that many, only play one. And then last for the Lightsworns are two Raikou. Don't play Judgment Dragon in this deck. You have enough targets for Judgment, but it's not the point of the deck, so we don't run it. Onto the Zombies, we got one Plague, obviously. One Pyramid Turtle. People don't really like to play it because, you know, you mill it and you really aren't going to get it back that often. But if it's in your opening hand and it's set and then you bust out one of your two Goblin Zombies, then you get a plus, and then you also have an extra tribute for one of your Monarchs. So that's really good. And Synchro. That's why I play him. And then obviously the two Goblin Zombies are needed for zombies. One Zombie Master, obviously. One Mizuki. One Card Trooper. It's really good, this format. I really like it. It gives you outs depending if you're playing machines in any type of way, because he's a machine and you can use him for Chimera Tech. Extra milling power, extra drawing power. It's just really good. It's too good not to run in Zombies or Lightsworn right now. One Necro, and then the last two Treeborn Frogs. You don't set a lot in this deck, so usually you're always going to get your Treeborn Frogs back. You have a lot of ditching power, discard power, so if he's in your hand, it'll be really easy to get him into the grave. I like him over Dandelion just because you're going to constantly get Treeborn Frog back. On the spells, we got one charge, obviously. Only two solar recharges. The reason being is because I don't play that many Lightsworns, so usually this card can be a dead card because if you don't have any in your hand, then chances are that most of them are in the grave, and you don't want to negative yourself by trying to get something back from the grave just to solar recharge, so I'm only running two. Two enemy controllers. This card is amazing, this format, especially in this deck, because you're constantly getting your Treeborn Frogs back, and you also have Goblin Zombie, which you can get a plus off of. So this is pretty much just like an extra brain control with like no cost whatsoever, because Treeborn Frog is always going to be out there for you to use. One Book of Life, one Foolish Burial, one Burial from a Different Dimension, only one Reincarnation, since I don't know, I'd only play one anyways, I guess. 1 Brain, 1 Heavy Storm, and 1 Cold Wave. This card is pretty good with this deck, mainly because you Cold Wave. Let's say you have nothing on the field. You Cold Wave them. They don't chain anything. Then you get Rise out or something like that, and you spin back their Magic or Trap card. That means next turn, that card they'll draw will be dead because they're a Cold Wave and they can't set anything. So it gives you like 2 free turns of not having to worry about Magic or Trap cards. And you also know that they're what their draw phase is going to be. And then 1 MST. The deck doesn't run too many traps. You run 2 Wing Blasts, also really good with Cold Wave because you can spin. You can do multiple spins. 1 Solemn, 1 Torrential, and last 1 Trap Dust Shoot. It's really good. So this is probably one of the main cards you want to play this format. On to the side, we got 1 Cyber Dragon because a lot of people are playing machines now, so it's really good to side it in so you can go on a Chimera Tech. Especially because I'm really getting pissed off that so many people are playing Machinas or whatever. They're just, it's just crazy. 2 guards. So when I side in Decrees, I'll take the Treeborns out and I'll use guard. So it's pretty good for GBs. Pretty good against a lot of decks actually. 1 Juju because he's pretty much the same as guard except. He's a little bit easier to run over. 1 Consecrated Light, 1 Nobleman, 1 more Book of Life in case I notice that my opponent doesn't really stop special summoning in any way, then I'll side this in. 1 My Body, 2 Bottomless, only 1 Pulling the Rug because it's the only one I have right now. I'd play 2 because I have played so many gadget decks in the past couple weeks that it's becoming extremely annoying, so I'd play 2 of these. But if you don't see too many other Monarch or gadget decks or whatever, then I only suggest probably playing 1. 1 Royal Oppression for Machinas because I just really hate that deck right now and this stops them, and it doesn't do anything against your deck because even though you may not be able to special summon, you can still get the Monarchs off. And 1 Royal Decree. I'd have 2 in here, but I only got 1 right now. On to the extra deck. 2 Chimera Tech. No matter what deck you're playing, always have 1 of these in your side deck because even if you don't have Cyber Dragon, your opponent could like let it out there, and if you have a machine, then you could still bring this guy out. And if your opponent is dumb enough to leave both Cyber Dragon and another machine out, you could just clear their field by special summoning him. So I suggest playing 2. 1 Mistworm, 1 Stardust, 1 Colossal, 1 Black Rose, 1 Arcanite because you side in guard, so you can get him out actually. 1 Ancient Fairy, 1 Brionic, 1 Goyo, 1 Doomkaiser because you got zombies obviously. 2 Revive King. You don't really need to play 2. You could take 1 out and play another Stardust, but I like 2 because I usually go into 6 stars more often. 1 Ally, and 1 Magical Android. And that's the deck. Bye.